Good afternoon, fam. Greta Ross here, Irving, Texas. Wanted to stop by real briefly today to continue my conversation with you about principles. I posted something earlier today on my timeline about how principles has been established by God, and it directly affects function, which affects everything that we do. So that's why I'm fascinated by this whole principle thing, because I need to know what pieces I need to put together and how to operate in it so that I can live effectively. So this week I want to talk about where the word says, "So a man thinketh, so is he." So whatever it is that you think is what you are. That's who you become. That's how you behave. That's how you treat people. That's how you talk to people. That's who you are. So as a man thinketh, so is he. And we think about a lot of things throughout the course of the day. From the time that we wake up to the time we go to work, at work, come home, thinking about the kids throughout the day, everything. We just think about so many things. But because it's a principle, and he says, as you think, that's what you are. So then what I started to do, and I said to myself, well, you know what? I want to become a better person. How do I do that? How can I apply this principle? Because it is a principle. So in order for me to become a better person, I have to be able to apply this, just like we talked about the aircraft last week. So then I started researching, and I found a scripture that said, think on these things. So then I said, okay, well, he tells me that as I think, that's who I am. But then the good news is that he also tells me what to think on. He says, think on what's true, what's pure, what's righteousness, what's holy. Those are the things that we're supposed to think on. And if we think on those things, then at that point, we start to experience the peace that surpasses all understanding. Then our behavior starts to change according to what we're thinking. So I said to myself, okay, if I want to become a better person, then what I have to do is figure out how I can apply what I'm thinking so that I can see some results. So I had to shift my mind and realize that I had to think about what's true. So I said to myself, well, what's true? The Word. God is the only true thing on this planet, in the whole universe. He's the only true thing. He's the only true thing that will never change. So when he says think on these things, what's true, I have to think about him and everything that he stands for, all of his principles. But this one right here, I wanted to be able to apply it to my life. I wanted to be able to change my way of thinking to the point where I would be able to see some different results. Because if I kept doing the same thing, I kept getting the same results. So I wanted something different. So I had to think on the things that he said think on. So once I started thinking on the things that are true, then that led me to start researching what's true. Then I started finding more principles and started trying to figure out, well, how do I apply those principles? The key is learning the principles and applying the principles. Whatever you think, that's what you are. If you want to think something different, think on these things. Whatever is true, whatever is pure, whatever is righteous, whatever is holy, think on these things. So not only did he tell us that what we think is what we become, he gives us a solution. He gives us a blueprint. He gives us the answer on how to apply what we need to apply to this principle. I think it's great. I just absolutely love it. I hope that you guys are being blessed by this, because every time I dive into this on my own, I really get blessed by it. Greta Ross, Irving, Texas. Peace out.